Struggling to remember important points? You might need the perfect note-taking strategy, and this video is here to help. Today, we're diving into 5 different note-taking methods, with the last 2 being proven game changers. Also, stick around until the end to find out which method works best for you. Let's get started. Number 5. Cornell method. The Cornell note-taking method is a super handy way to take and organize your notes. Invented by Professor Walter Paul back in the 1950s at Cornell University. It's actually super effective for organizing your notes and making sure you really get what you're learning. Instead of writing down every little thing, you just focus on the key points and reflect on the material, which helps a lot with understanding. What's great is how organized it is. When you need to study, your notes are already set up perfectly. You can test yourself with questions, skim the summaries for a quick refresh, or check out the main notes for more detail. Honestly, it saves so much time and effort because you're doing it right from the start. The great thing about Cornell notes is that they require almost no prep, making them perfect for taking notes in class. The page is divided into either 3 or 4 sections, a block at the top, 2 columns in the middle, a block at the bottom. Here's how it works. All your main notes from the lecture go in the big note-taking column on the right. To set it up, just draw a 2-inch margin on the left side, leaving about 6 inches on the right for notes. During class, write down key info in that 6-inch section. When your teacher switches to a new topic, leave a few lines blank. After class, go back and fill in any gaps. For each important piece of info, write a short cue in the left margin. When it's time to review, cover your notes with a card, leaving only the cues visible. Say the cue out loud. Then try to recall as much as possible of what's hidden underneath the card. Once you've said everything you can, move the card to see if it matches. If you can say it, you've got it down. Number 4. The outlining method. The next one is the outlining method, which is a really simple and popular way of taking notes, especially for students. It helps you organize everything in a clear way, like building a skeleton of your lesson or textbook, which makes studying easier later on. This way of note-taking is great for most subjects, but if you're in a class like math or chemistry where you need to draw a lot, it's better to use a different method. Outlining is way better than trying to write down everything because it helps you see how ideas connect. It also breaks everything into small, easy-to-understand pieces. When it's time to study, you can cover up most of your notes, leaving just the main points, and quiz yourself to see how much you remember. Since your notes are so organized, you can quickly skip the stuff you already know and focus on what needs more practice. Here's how to make outline notes. Write the main topic on the left. Underneath, indent and write the smaller ideas. Then, under those, write the little details. Keep doing this for each topic. You can use bullet points, arrows, colors, and numbers to make things clearer and easier to understand. Number 3. Flow method. A flow chart is like a fun map that helps you see how things connect and move from one step to another. It's great when you're trying to understand a process, like how information or ideas flow from one part to the next. You get to use arrows, lines, and diagrams to show how everything links together. Flow charts are perfect if you want to see the whole picture of something all at once. You can make a flow chart before class to help you follow along, or after class to organize everything better. Just not during, because it can be tricky to keep up while drawing. If you make one before, you can easily add extra notes as your teacher talks. Afterward, it helps you sort out the information so it's clearer. Most people like to use flowcharts when studying because they show the entire topic in one easy view. Imagine you learned about the digestive system one week and the nervous system the next. For your test, a flowchart can help you connect what you learned from both lessons, so you have a simple picture of everything in one place. Number 2. The mapping method. Next is the mapping method, which is a bit more complicated than the others. It's a very flexible technique that you can use for learning, memorizing, understanding new concepts, and even coming up with new ideas. Studies show that students who use mapping techniques have higher exam scores than those who don't use the method. You use mind mapping for subjects where the topics have a strong relationship with each other. Unlike the flowchart, where the information only goes one way, mind maps can be all over the place. A good example would be tracking the body's process as a whole. Food goes in the mouth, travels to the stomach, and moves to the intestines. It can be the large intestine or the small intestine. If it goes to the large intestine, it proceeds to exit the body through the anus. But what if it goes to the small intestine? Then it is redirected back to the body and distributed as vitamins and minerals. The mapping method is a way of taking notes that's like making a big drawing of how ideas are connected. It's a bit more detailed, but it's really helpful for learning and understanding new things. Here's how it works. Start by writing the main idea in the middle of your page. Then, draw lines out from the main idea to show how other ideas or facts are related to it. You can use different colors or pictures to make it fun and easier to remember. For example, if you're learning about how food moves through your body, you write food in the middle. Then, draw a line to the mouth, another to the stomach, and more lines to show where the food goes next, like the large or small intestine. Mapping is great because it shows how everything is connected in lots of directions, not just one way like a flowchart. In class, you can start by writing the main topic in the center, and then adding new lines for each new thing your teacher talks about. By the end, you'll have a picture of everything you learned. The best part is you can go back and add more details, numbers, or colors later. It also makes reviewing easy, because you can see all the connections and check if you understand. If you make it on the computer, you can even save or share it. Number 1. SQ3R method. The SQ3R method is like a superpower for reading and remembering stuff. Here's how it works. First is survey, which involves taking a quick peek at the text, like you're spying on it. What's it all about? Then there is the question. Ask yourself questions about the text, like you're a detective trying to solve a mystery. Number 3 is read. Dive into the text like it's a thrilling adventure, looking for clues to answer your questions. Next is recite. Shout out or jot down what you've learned. Pretend you're giving a news report about it. Last but not least is review. Just go back and check everything again, like you're double-checking your work for a top-secret mission. This method turns reading into an action-packed quest, helping you remember and understand things like a pro. Here's how to take notes using the SQ3R method in a fun and easy way. Start by skimming the material to get a general idea of what it's about. Look at headings, subheadings, and any highlighted words. No need to take notes just yet. Before you dive into reading, think about what you expect to learn and write down some questions based on your initial look. As you read through the material, focus on finding answers to your questions and come up with new ones if you can. After finishing each section, try to recite the main points and answer your questions from memory in your notes. Then, double-check the text to make sure you're on track. Once you finish reading, review your notes to reinforce what you've learned and help it stick. This method makes note-taking more engaging and helps you understand and remember the material better. Which method is best for you? The Cornell method is ideal for those who need a structured way to review and test their understanding, with its clear division of notes into key points, detailed notes, and summaries. The outline method works well for students who benefit from a hierarchical local structure, making it perfect for subjects with a clear flow of information. The flowchart method is great for visual learners who need to see how different parts of a process or system connect, while the mapping method is suited for those who thrive on seeing information in a more interconnected, free-form way. Finally, the SQ3R method is excellent for deep comprehension and retention, engaging actively with reading material through surveying, questioning, reading, reciting, and reviewing. Picking the right note-taking method really depends on how you learn best and what you're studying. If you're not sure which one to use, give a few different methods a try to see which one helps you understand and remember things the best. Each method has its own perks, so finding the right fit can make studying a lot more effective and enjoyable. And with this ends our video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.